What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. App like you got some sense. Smash the like and subscribe button. We like it when you do that. Also, if you want to fund the madness directly, hit us up at the Cash App at $Vern Dollars, DOLLAZ. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers in a rematch from 2020 in the Super Bowl. We'll check that out, I'm sure, and do some more reporting on that. We'll talk about Detroit and how they couldn't get out of their own way and how they imploded at the end. Also want to talk some Falcons football as they just hired Raheem Morris and the moves that he's making right away. And we want to talk about some more things, talking about Michigan football, doing a follow-up story on that. Also, the opinionated piece about how Patrick Mahomes is the only elite quarterback in the NFL that's not named Tom Brady, who has won a Super Bowl in the last 7 years. I think that is to be commended. Also, much love to him and Travis Kelce, as Travis Kelce passes Jerry Rice for the most receptions in the postseason. Shout out to them for doing what they do. And just feeling good all the way around. Indiana lost to Illinois in a heartbreaker. Who's your fan? How did you feel? Also, a quarterback controversy brewing at Ohio State. The world of sports just keeps spinning, and we'll be back to follow that first story about Raheem Morris and the ATL when we come back from a quick 20-second break from an unofficial sponsor of the show. Yes, Planet Fitness, Big Fitness Energy. It's a judgment-free zone. Don't be a clunkhead. They got the alarm. Like I said, visit the good people down at your Planet Fitness. Also, they've got a deal going on right now. Sign up for 24 cents up until January the 31st. Planet Fitness, Big Fitness Energy. All right. So this story comes out of The Atlantic by Mr. Josh Kendall talking about the Falcons and Raheem Morris being an addition inside the franchise. Yeah. 47-year-old Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator is well liked around the league and has multiple backers in his effort to get a second chance at a head coaching job in the NFL. And there's also, he's not Bill Belichick. Now, they try to say that Bill Belichick was blackballed or whatever. He wasn't. I think what Bill was looking for is complete control of football operations. Nobody's going to give that to him. I mean, New England, they were in, I want to say when he caught them, when he bailed on the Jets and then he went to New England, I think they were desperate to have somebody back there like that. And then he can install his people, and he had big say over everything when he first signed up with the Pats. But I don't think anybody was willing to give Bill Belichick that kind of free reign, you know. And you have Terry Fontenay. Now, he believed in Raheem Morris. And after him and Arthur Blank passed on Belichick, the Falcons expected Fontenay to retain 50% of the voice in the building after they fired former head coach Arthur Smith. So it was more or less with the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, look, we seen it. We didn't like it. We don't want to go through it again. Because Arthur Smith had that kind of pull in the organization. McKay said on January the 8th, but they clearly wouldn't have happened with Belichick on the payroll. So you can see as Fontenay is he's fighting for more of a voice within the organization. And he didn't have that when they gave all of that to Arthur Smith. That's interesting. And just for the record, people can sit up here and try and paint Bill Belichick up as some likable figure. Bill Belichick is not a likable person. He's very standoffish. He's very crass. I mean, the things that he growls when he's at a press conference, and you go look at some of these press clippings. I mean, he treats the reporters like they're idiots, and he has nothing but short things to say. And I've rarely saw this guy smile. I think I've seen him smile when they won championships, but outside of that, I saw him smile when they highlighted him at a Boston Celtics game. Yeah. While firing Smith at Atlanta's 2014 transition, which head coach Mike Smith was fired, while general manager Thomas Dimitroff was retained. We did that with the idea that we give up the best chance to win right away. And 2 years later, they went to the Super Bowl. So the 49ers coach now, Kyle Shanahan, he was the offensive coordinator for Atlanta when they went to the Super Bowl. And that's why I'm very critical of Kyle Shanahan, because he'll give away a game, because there's no way that the San Francisco 40, there's no way that the Atlanta Falcons should have lost that game. And they had the Patriots beat. I was still emotional about that. That came from a deep place just a minute ago. McKay said, we felt like that did serve us well, because we didn't start with two people in power positions and completely re-examine the roster, and doing those things might take us backward, but it took us forward. So they felt like that was a pretty good thing. They felt like, hey, look, the system that we put in place when we had Kyle Shanahan and those guys back here, we went to the Super Bowl, we went away with that with Arthur Smith, and we took a step back as an organization. Now going forward, let's put that same thing back in place, but let's try it with a coach who's not asking for as much in Raheem Morris. Now, I don't know if that's going to make them successful. I don't know, but it's worth the discussion. Now, see, hiring Morris allows the Falcons to have a similar transition. So again, the assertions is that we want to go back to our Super Bowl season, and the chain of command, so to say, that we put in place. Then if we can do that now with a coach who's able to get the best out of the players, that's going to serve us well. We don't want to be beholden to a guy who has more of a voice. He's shut out football operations. He is the only one that he answers only to the owner. They didn't want to do that. And that's clearly Fontenay running the personnel department and Morris in charge of coaching and football operations. Morris and Fontenay will report directly to Blank. The Falcons announced this on Thursday, which changes from last season when Fontenay and Smith reported to McKay. So they just took the man in the middle out. What's the old saying? Too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the stew. It's one of those things. But we'll get more into Atlanta and why this job was really highly sought after because Jim Harbaugh, he interviewed twice for this job. Then you had Bill Belichick, he interviewed twice for this job. And when you go and you look at the Atlanta Falcons record last year and the weapons they had on the field, I couldn't name a lot of these guys that are playing for the Atlanta Falcons. Hell, I don't even know these dudes in facial recognition. So we'll get into why this job was highly sought after when we come back from another quick 20-second break from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Vernon at App Stupid. KFC, 11 herbs and spices. KFC, try the $20 fill-up box or the $9 big box. KFC, finger licking good. Home of the, Kentucky Colonel. Download the app, order online, or visit the good folks down at your local KFC. Okay, so before we took that quick 20-second break, we were talking about the Falcons and why this job was highly sought after. And then when you look at the pieces on the field and you want to kind of, you want to see where things line up. If you go out and you look at the Falcons, currently they have $37 million in cap space for 2024. It's not the world's worst, but it's 19th in the NFL. So that's the thing. You've got a little bit of money. Remember, they had to eat almost 40 million. No, not almost 40 million. They did eat $40 million when Matt Ice, when they got rid of him to Indianapolis in dead money because they kept giving him all of this stuff, which he clearly wasn't worth. A key figure to lock in on with the Falcons is that they have 8 draft picks in 2024. They own the rights to their first pick and their second and third round picks. The 4th round they acquired from the Jaguars pick after the Calvin Ridley trade. They also own their 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks as well. They picked up an extra pick in the 6th round when they sent linebacker Deion Jones and the 2024 7th round pick to Cleveland. And free agency in 2024, the Falcons, they have a wish list. Wide receiver T. Higgins from the Bengals. I don't know if they can actually afford him, but it is a wish list. You have wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. from the Colts, wide receiver Mike Evans. You've got Hollywood Brown out there with the Cardinals, and then tight end Hunter Henry from the Patriots. So Brock has some options. Atlanta has a lot of draft capital coming up in 2024. How is that going to make them better? I don't know, but it is worth the discussion. It is worth the discussion. So we'll talk more about that when we come back, or we'll just go and get into everything. This is Big Vernon at App Stupid. Going to talk some more football when we come back, talking about Detroit and the implosion.